Come on in to the Night Lighthouse. You're very welcome. Take a seat and join me to listen to me talk. Hello and welcome to the Night Lighthouse once again. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to have you here. Come up to the top of the lighthouse. Look out across all we survey. It is a cloudy day today, but do not let that deter you, perturb you, put you off in any way, put you down, because the day is what you make it, and we are here to make it a joyous occasion, because we are here together again this weekend to talk me, listen you, and learn you, and teach me. So come in, make yourself comfortable. Whoa, so this is episode, I don't even know what number this is. We're a few down now, aren't we? We've been a few weeks together now. Yeah, I think you'll agree we've had our ups and downs. We've had our high points when it ends. We've had our low points when it starts. And we've had some alright bits, the bits in the middle, where I stop talking and something else happens, like some music or a little comedy sketch. But there's loads more to come. I got so many ideas. So if you've not found something you like yet, I mean, you probably never will, but stick with me anyway. I really do insist. I really do insist, and I will do some horrendous things if you don't. All right. Good. So what to talk about? What are we going to talk about? I think we'll talk about fame today. I've touched on it briefly before, and now it's time to give it its full due. Isn't fame a weird thing? It used to have a place, did it not? Like, you think about some famous people in history that everyone knows about. Hitler. I mean, you might not like his tactics, but he earned his place in history. There's a reason people remember him. Churchill, the same, on the opposite side. These are famous people that make sense. Michael Jackson, to a point, because he was all-pervasive. I mean, he was, just looking at popular culture now, Michael Jackson. What a presence. I mean, forget about the controversial stuff, and just think about the height of his powers, if you like. I'm no Michael Jackson fan, but I mean, fair dues. The man's a legend. For a reason. A genuine reason. People like his music, they like his art, his expression, so they bought it, so he became more popular, so he sold out concerts, and he became massively famous. Fair point. Elvis the same, the Beatles the same. These people, their fame makes sense, doesn't it? Fair dues, you think. Fair dues. You're famous and you've earned it. For a reason. But what's fame today? I mean, it's nothing, isn't it? I mean, you still have the legitimately famous people, the politicians, of course. I mean, Trump surely is one of the most famous people on the planet right now, and will be for quite some time. Like him or not, you can see the justification for that. It's earned fame. It's real fame. So fair enough. I mean, who else is massively famous right now? Like an artist, I'm thinking someone popular. Like an actor, like George Clooney. He's a good actor. He's made some good films. People like his films. He's chosen films well, which means if he's in films now, generally speaking, it's a certain guarantee of quality because he doesn't make shit films, because he doesn't need to. And he's got good people and he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's earned his fame. I mean, recently I was speaking about Katie Price and her books and so on. I mean, she's famous for what? This is manufactured fame, and we can't get enough of it. It's on all the magazines. You've got people who are pretty enough or controversial enough, or wacky enough, even worse, can get on some kind of reality TV show. Once they're on the reality TV show, that's it, you're set. So you just need to play the game and write this little script for yourself where you have to date the right people and then break up with them and then sell the exclusive on why, and then sell the exclusive on, oh, I still love them really, and then sell the exclusive on the next relationship and then go back to the original one. And this orchestrated soap opera that is your life makes you famous. For nothing. At all. It's an incredible phenomenon. It's like a snowball, isn't it? You just need to get the snowball started some way. And then you just need to be canny enough to manipulate and roll it down the hill so it grows. And it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows and it grows. And there we go. That is what fame is these days. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh, no. We don't even need the devil for this one. You've come straight in as the devil. Think about it sensibly. You're saying they haven't earned their fame. Well, the fact they are famous contradicts that. If Michael Jackson got to his status by his music, his art, and his head, these people are doing it with their skills. You talk about them manipulating and rolling the snowball. Well, not everybody could do that. That is a skill. That takes understanding of culture, understanding of people, understanding of emotions, understanding of business. So they've earned their fame too. It's just a different type of fame. It's a new type of fame.
Yeah, I mean, that's my more forgiving side coming in. And of course, that's true. It is it's just a different type of fame. It's a different type. If previously we liked, a soap opera, be it Coronation Street or EastEnders or Time of Our Lives or As Time Goes By or anything like that, the characters had a story arc written for them which you liked, so you continue to watch it, so you associate those actors with those roles, and you like the actors, and the actors become famous, and so on and so on and so on. This is the same thing. It's just, it's sold as reality. Or it's reality being sold, isn't it? It's people's quote-unquote real lives being packaged and sold wholesale to us. To you, the people. Going on Bane. I'm losing my Bane voice. I can't do my Bane. I used to be very good at Bane voice. Or at least I felt I was very good at Bane voice. I probably wasn't. Let me try again. Hang on. Let me clear this throat. Once again, this is natural sparkling spring water from the Chase Springs in the heart of Staffordshire. Well, perhaps he's wondering why you would shoot a man before throwing him out of a plane. I can't do it anymore. It's gone. Anyway, that's not the point. We're not here to do Bane voices. Grow up, everybody. Jesus Christ, it was years ago. Get over it. Anyway, isn't fame a weird thing? We've lost our way with all this. We're just giving fame to anybody now. But again, it's not true, is it? Because these magazines are shifting. I mean, how many magazines are left now? I mean, there's quite a few, but you go to the supermarket, they're all Closer, Now, Look, and all that shit, where they just thrive on these stories. And people presumably get paid for them. The worst thing I remember it's when people sell the pregnancy photos are bad enough, but the baby photos. They sell the baby photos to Heat or whatever for money, obviously. And I just think, oh, come off it. Fuck off. I remember Jordan trying to sell the rights for a camera crew to be in the Labour Theatre. So in other words, to document her giving birth, to sell that to magazines. Fuck off. That's just bollocks. That's just wrong. That's just so fucked up. You know what? I shouldn't say all that. Maybe that's not true. That's the sort of thing that stinks of gossip. But you can understand how gossip starts, really, with people like this, because they sell themselves so completely, it's actually quite believable that they literally leave no stone unturned. Well, anyway, I'm sounding bitter now. Come on then, let's cheer it up. I was so spunky, wasn't I, at the beginning of this? I was so spunky, covered in spunk, full of spunk even. All Freudian. And now, look, I brought us all down again. Every time. But no! Be not perturbed once again. Let's have something in the middle to cheer us up. Huh? And then we'll get back to the good stuff. Here we are again, and we're feeling better. We're not cross about people being famous anymore. Actually, I'm not cross about people being famous. Good luck to them. It's so substanceless that I think, again, it makes me feel estranged from the world. I'm so conscious of the fact that those magazines are selling indicates that other people, that a significant proportion of the populace is interested in those things, that I feel so disconnected from them. I feel, if that's the majority, what the hell am I? And they must be the majority, because the things I'm interested in, old video games, music, all these things, they're not for sale at the counter at the supermarket. They're not selling Retro Gamer. They're not selling Terrorizer magazine or comics. They are selling Closer, Heat, pictures of Katie Price, pictures of all that lot, Love Island, Celebrity MasterChef, blah, 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 Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother. The scandal between the people sleeping in the Big Brother house who were also dating the people from Celebrity Big Brother who's having a baby with the girl from Secret Island. Oh my goodness. That's what's selling. That's what the people want. That's what everybody else wants. If I go to the street now and throw a stone, which I'm very tempted to do, likelihood is I will hit someone who is buying this stuff. So, maybe good riddance. But the point is, it's weird to realise how far away from the world you've grown, or how far away from you the world has developed. I'm not sure which way it lies, but probably a bit of both. Probably a bit of both. But fucking hell. Right. What did I say about cheering up? I said I was going to cheer up. This isn't cheer. This is cheery. No. I mean, apart from throwing stones at people that like Katie Price, but still. No, come on. I want to share with you a true story. My favourite band. Now, you've heard a little bit about this band before. Was Carcass. And if you're a Friends fan, you'll remember Phoebe saying, the one with the C or the one with the K. It doesn't matter, they're both great. There is no one with a K. But nonetheless, Carcass, my favourite band from Liverpool. Woo! And I like them for many reasons. As with many things which are your favourite, they've now gone above and beyond in my mind what they actually were. So they're greater than the sum of their parts, so to speak. They had, in all honesty, 3 great records. And they've had 3 perfectly fine ones. Perfectly fine ones is not legendary in my mind. The 3 excellent ones are. And I love them enough that suffices to cover their entire career. The fact that they had 3 significant albums to me is sufficient for me to overlook the other 3. And also, they become legendary, don't they, for more than the music. So I just like them as characters. The fact that they're not characters, they're so, down to earth, they're not rock stars at all. I just like the fact that they were pioneers in what they did. And back then, I mean, now, if you're into extreme metal, not to get too boring, but it tends to be quite down-tuned. The instruments are down-tuned, and Carcass were down-tuned to B, which was very low. Even now, that's considered low. But back then, 30 years ago or something like that, that was very low. But, I mean, shit. The equipment didn't exist then for you to do that. Things were in standard instruments. So what did they do? They compromised. They altered things. They made do. And by making do, they carved out something new. And that in itself is an incredible thing. What a story. But they're not big enough or popular enough to ever be a biopic or a book or anything. But what an amazing story. Just the idea of people with a vision at such a young age, with a vision, doing something completely new, and the tools weren't there. So you take what tools you can get, and you just fuck them up until it works. It's brilliant. It's just inspiring. But anyway, fame. So let's face it, they're not famous. You could be on a train listening to this right now, and you could be sat next to a member of Carcass, and you might well not know it. Fair enough. But I would. And when I was younger, they were my favourite band. My favourite band by far. I was obsessed as only a teenager can be. But obsessed in that amazing way that you just don't get anymore. Here's me whinging about that again. But, I couldn't Google them and find interviews. It was once in a blue moon in Terrorizer magazine, and you couldn't believe your luck. And that's just the way the world was. Anyway. So once, I was in Liverpool with a girlfriend at the time. And we were walking down the street. And up the street, I could see this dude, not that tall, very long hair down to his arse. And it just caught my attention. I just caught a look at him and I thought, oh my God. It was Jeff Walker from Carcass. He's the singer. Amazing. Jeff Walker from Carcass right there. I was obsessed and my girlfriend knew I was obsessed. I spent ages trying to find a Carcass t-shirt. Couldn't find them for love nor money. Didn't have mail order. Couldn't Google it then. Anywho, she makes me follow him up the street. And you just don't know what you're going to do. And she says, you've got to speak to him. You've got to speak to him. It's like, about what? I can't speak to him. It's just, no, I can't speak to him. What am I going to speak to him about? Anyway, so she just makes me follow him. And we follow him like stalkers. And eventually he goes into Midland Bank. So we followed him into there. And I was like, this is well dodge. And he goes up to a cash point. So this is like the moment, isn't it? Because he stood still. But we've been sort of in continual motion until then, just following him. So you could always put off a decision. But now here we are, virtually face to face. And my girlfriend basically just pushes me towards him. And that kind of broke the fog of my mind, and I had to act. And he's obviously looking at me a bit weird. And I said, bear in mind, he's at the cash point, putting in his PIN number. And there's me looming over him. And I said, are you in a band? And he said, yeah, mate. And I said, are you Jeff Walker? And he went, yeah. I went, yes! Right there in the middle of the bank. He's in the middle of like putting in his PIN number. Oh, the poor sod. The poor sod. Honestly, I don't think he even got his cash. I think he hit the cancel button, took his card, and got out there. Oh, I felt so bad afterwards. Well, I didn't actually. I was excited for meeting Jeff Walker. Only now, years later in hindsight, do I realise what a tit I made of myself. Oh dear, in front of Jeff Walker of all people. I don't know what you're into in your life. Maybe you like whatever you're into, whatever band your favourite, artist your favourite, actors your favourite, writers your favourite, musicians your favourite, pointless celebrities your favourite, Love Island winners your favourite, gynecologist to the stars that's your favourite, whatever the fuck. Your favourite there was the equivalent to this. This is my equivalent to that. It's like, you know, if you were going for a smear test or something, and then you don't even pay much attention. You don't want to make eye contact with the person. You know, maybe it's slightly awkward. I've never had a smear test. I don't know. And then you look down and, oh my God, it's him or her. The gynecologist, your favourite celebrity. You couldn't believe it. He had a double-page spread in Heat magazine this month talking about gonorrhea and which celebrities have had it the worst. Anyway, he's my equivalent to gonorrhea doctor. It blew my mind. And only a few years later did I realise what a tit I made of myself. So, this is not where the story ends. A few years later, probably that story I just told then, Liverpool in the bank, I was probably 16 then, maybe 15, 16. A few years later, probably, I don't know, 4 years later, 5 years later. So I'm an older man now. I'm a man now. I'm 20, 21, I don't know. And I'm in the Tiv in Buckley, which, if you've never been, you probably haven't, was a shit dive bar, and probably still is. But they had lots of bands. And they had one evening, Napalm Death. So I went to see them, and it was a very poor turnout. It was very disheartening. It was when extreme metal was in its absolute slump, the biggest slump. So we're there, and the band's there, and who should I only see up on the walkway, because the Tiv had walkways, like fire exit walkways on the inside, all around it. Only Jeff Walker again from bloody Carcass watching Napalm Death, with whom he's friends. And I thought, oh my God, here we go. This is it. This time, I'm going to sort this out. This time, I'm going to behave better. Me and Jeff Walker are going to become best mates tonight. I'm going to buy him a pint and he's going to drink it. And then we'll talk. And then, you know what? He's going to buy me a pint. Because he'll see I'm an all right guy. In fact, I'm a great guy. So I steel myself. I have another drink first. Of course, why not? I've already had 6. So what difference does one more make? So I have another drink. So I walk up the stairs to the walkway where Jeff Walker is stood watching the band. Leaning against the railings he is. Sidle up to him. I'm an older man, I'm more confident, I'm more worldly. I've done many more things. Yeah? And I got a few drinks in me. So I sidle up to him. And I say, excuse me. He turns to look, pleasant enough, and he says, hi, mate. And I go, do you know where the toilets are? And he said, oh, yeah, they're over there, mate. And I scurried off to the toilet, which I didn't need, and then scurried down the fire escape again and never saw him again. Good days, good days. My brushes with fame. But I contend that Jeff Walker is a man who has earned his fame by virtue of being an innovator and his music. So I still greatly admire Jeff Walker. Jeff, to you, salute. I raise my bottle of sparkling spring water in your general direction and doff you, good sir. Though your last album was massively overrated. Sorry, but it's true. Right, I just want to look at the implications of fame. Genuine fame, huge fame. It must be quite challenging. Now, the people who have sold their soul, and I know that sounds harsh. Yeah, sold their soul doesn't sound harsh to me. You sell it, I'll buy it. You sell it, I'll buy it. I got what you need. I got the fame, got the cash, got the sex, got what you need, oh yeah. You sell your soul to me, and I'll make your dreams come true. Yeah, 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 yeah. It must be difficult being genuinely famous. Now, the people that have sold their soul, like I say, have asked for it. They want it. They want to live their life in the public. I think Ricky Gervais calls it live your life like an open wound. While I don't understand that, if you want that and you caught that, well, then you've got it coming to you. And there's no sympathy when your paparazzi are there and you're looking like shit hungover because you caught it. That's the rules. You set the rules. You enter the game. And once you start playing it, I think it's probably quite brutal. But what about your celebrities who've got there by fair means, by their art, by their skill? It must be so fucking weird. I'm thinking of... I remember my mum didn't meet. My mum brushed shoulders with George Best once, who was a Beckham of his day. Bigger than Beckham, as I hear it. Just like a massively skilled footballer. And became extremely, extremely famous. And he also became very troubled. I'm not sure which came first, but he various substance abuse and alcohol. He famously went broke. And then he was doing a TV interview. And the interviewer sort of said, "Oh, you've made God knows how much money. Where did it all go?" And George Best just went, booze, drugs, women, and I wasted the rest. But that's the sort of character he was. Anyway, so my mum was in London and she was looking in the shop of a window and there was someone else looking in the same window. And she turned, and who should it be but none other than George Best? And he obviously turned and clocked her looking at him. And then apparently he just looked at my mum with this look, basically saying, "Please, just don't. Please, just leave me." Obviously she did, but it's just like, imagine just not being able to pop out. It must be fucking mental. So yeah, it must be difficult being famous. I wouldn't want to be famous. I'm quite happy being like an anonymous podcaster. But again, I mean, just to go back to it, isn't it weird that we allow status of that nature to people, to other people? I mean, I can see it again with historical people or very skilled people, maybe like George Best and musicians. I cannot understand why we shower praise on people who've done nothing other than basically presented themselves to us. That's all these people have done. They've basically got on TV and presented themselves to us and then continue finding a way to present themselves to us. They've not done anything. Everybody gets laid, has a fight, gets drunk, looks like shit, has kids, loses someone. This is a life cycle that we're all going through. It makes no fucking difference when someone else does, but for some reason we just absolutely throw our money at it. What has the world come to? I say all this, and I wonder what the truth of it is. I genuinely wonder now. Okay, so if I'm just walking down the street now, and I happen to run past as if I would, walk past George Clooney again. I wonder how I'd behave. Would I be slightly starstruck? I wonder if I would. But likewise, if I bumped into Katie Price, who I've been picking on a lot for this. I'm sorry, Katie Price. I appreciate you're not the only celebrity of that ilk. And at least you're one of the originals. At least you carved something new out. Fair dues. If I was at a party and I was introduced to her, I wonder if I would be able to talk to her as normally as I would you, or just a regular person, by which I mean non-famous. Or would I be slightly, maybe not starstruck, maybe not awed, but just put off my stride? Now, and I wonder if that would be because I am intimidated by the fame, if I'm enchanted by the fame, or if it's just because when you meet someone, usually you don't have baggage. If I meet you now, I probably don't know anything about you. We don't know each other. It's a fresh start. But with a celebrity like that, there's so much baggage. I already feel I know the fabric of Katie Price, which I inevitably do not. And no doubt I only know the veneer. I probably don't have a clue who Katie Price really is, and I accept that. But when you meet someone, all you're getting is the veneer, right? Because that's what the first meeting is. So instantly and inevitably, you're going to say in your mind, "Oh, you're the person that tried to sell the rights to photographs of you giving birth." You couldn't separate the two, probably. But likewise, I suppose that on the flip side, I think George Clooney's a lovely bloke. I bet he's dead sound. I bet he's a laugh. I bet he's good in the pub. He does a lot of work for charity. He just seems like a very nice, approachable, affable fella. He's probably a cunt. He's probably a complete cunt. But when I meet him, again, it's going to be... Well, first of all, with him, I probably would be slightly starstruck because I do appreciate his work. But again, I'm going to associate what I understand of George Clooney is this. He's made some good films and I like his roles. He cocks his head a lot, which makes him look approachable. So in my mind, George Clooney is now a clever, nice, approachable person. He does a lot of charity work. So in my mind, he is now a very giving person. Well, that could all be PR bullshit. He could be the biggest cunt in the world, couldn't he? He could be an absolute knobhead. And maybe he is. You just don't know, do you? Maybe he is. But, that's the thing with fame. It colours the mind, doesn't it? I think we've all got something to take away here, haven't we? Think about the way you think of famous people. Then separate the fame and realise that a famous person is just a person on the cover of a magazine. That's all it is. His holiday photos don't just end up, on his bloody phone being shown to his workmates at lunchtime. They end up on the front of a magazine being sold to hundreds of thousands. But he's still someone who went on holiday. Probably ate something dodgy. Probably had an argument with the missus. Probably got a bit of sunburn. Probably. Just a normal person separated by perception. Fame and How to Get Over It by Andy Smith. Which I'll have ghost written for me by Casey Price, probably. Okay. And as we come full circle, we are going to wrap this motherfucker up. Thank you for listening as always. Please do get in touch. You can email me, nightnightlighthouse@gmail.com, nightnightlighthouse@gmail.com. You can follow on Twitter. Tweet. You can follow a couple of places there, actually. Lighthouse Andy, @Lighthouse Andy, which is the lighthouse from which I broadcast this very broadcast. Or you can go to Dogged Dialogue. So Dogged Dialogue. Dogged Dialogue being the production house company for which makes this. Just get on it. So just get in touch. Say anything you want. Say you love it. Say you hate it. Say why. Call me a cunt. Call me a lovely person. Any problems you want to throw my way? Any thoughts? Any worries? Pass them over. Together we can solve all ills. Thank you very much for listening. I will speak to you again, and goodbye.